The book of Joshua, chapter 5, verse 12, teaches us clearly that when the Israelites harvested their first crop after they crossed the Red Sea, God stopped giving them manna. So manna was not given every time. After they reached the promised land and they received their first harvest, God stopped giving them manna. Also, the book of First Kings, you find out that there was a situation whereby Elijah was fed by the raven, but that was not happening every time. The Bible tells us that Jesus fed 5,000 people, and at times they fed 4,000 people with very few loaves of bread and fish. But that never happened every time. At times, pastors or preachers have made Christians to become lazy, using such scriptures and trying to teach the Christians that this thing can be happening every time. They made Christians to be lazy. They made Christians to believe that God can provide for them while they are sleeping. I've seen preachers or even people of God doing miracles for them. Sometimes a person, there was a preacher whom he received visitors and he had nothing. He had only water in a flask. And he told the preachers or his fellow colleagues that God will provide tea for us. And he literally poured the water in cups, and that water was already tea. At times, people find themselves with money in their pockets and never had money. At times, a person can put water. It has happened, a person will put water in a sphere or in a pan, and he decided to cook water, and that water became food, very tasty food. These are situations which happens when God allows it, and it depends on how was the situation. For example, Elijah, he was in a crisis after he killed prophets, false prophets, after he was chased by Jezebel, and God had to look for ways of helping such a person. So, if a Christian want to be fed by a raven, what situation was there? What happened? So, even if a preacher or a pastor tells you God can feed you, that's very true. He can feed you, he can do everything. But remember, we are on earth not to be lazy, but to be working. But when you find yourself in a crisis, God for sure will help you. God can put money in your pocket. But remember, even if He puts money today, tomorrow you have to work. It doesn't guarantee that this thing will happen every time. So do not be lied to that you can sleep every time from morning to evening, you be praying and not working and expect the world to change. It doesn't work like that. For sure, you'll be praying, but even your children will lack school fees. But if you're a full-time preacher, full-time pastor, full-time intercessor, that's the different story. God can 100% guide you on what to do.